Just plop.
So it's Tuesday, which means it's Tarot Talk Tuesday.
Tarot Talk Tuesday. I have my tarot T-shirt on. You
Your
can't
tarot
see it
T-shirt. Well, no, because you've got a skittle all over you.
So. I think it's the sun and the moon card on this one.
There you go. Ideal. Look at that.
Yep.
Perfect. So, moving on then. Tarot Talk Tuesday.
Tarot Talk Tuesday today.
Which is where we work our way through. Which is where we work our way through the entire tarot deck, and we are quite a ways in right now. I'm looking.
Oh yeah, but come on.
Yeah,
it's going to take 78 weeks, which is over a year. True.
Yeah.
All right.
Card of the day.
Card for Tarot Talk Tuesdays.
We got the Hierophant today. That's the one we pulled out. We haven't done this one before.
The Hierophant.
The Hierophant. Interesting.
Gosh, there's a lot going on here.
You want to start?
I could.
Go for it.
All right. Well, the Hierophant is a character that sits in the middle pillar position.
Yeah,
right?
Between two pillars again.
Right? Mm-hmm. So there's Lois says, or fireworks. Yes, that's true. Drum circles and fireworks. So the Hierophant looks very papal, very Pope-like. But we can't really tell if the character is male or female.
Got nice shoes.
We assume that they are the Pope by the way they look. They've got that hat and... are we done now? Okay.
Bye then.
Weird. I was talking about the Pope. It scared her. She knows she's the spawn of Satan.
Maybe that's it. Oh no, Catholics run. That's it. Yes, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
So you'll notice that the hand is up giving benediction, right? Or it almost looks like Scout's honor. So this card could be seen as a blessing. Mm. In the other hand, they're holding their staff or stave, and it has 3 bars to represent Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Oh, some kind of Trinity thing.
Well, you could also look at it as Maiden, Mother, and Crone, I would think.
Or Land, Sea, and Sky.
Land, Sea, and Sky. Then you'll notice the red. There's a lot of red in this dress here.
There's a lot of 3s on this card, too.
Yeah, even though it's not the number 3, it's number 5, which is struggle. Okay.
3 arms to the cross and 3 crosses down the center.
That's what I just said, yes.
Yeah.
On the sash,
yeah.
Okay. So the red color, again, connects it to base chakra, Saturn, and Mars kind of energy. This restriction, lessons, karma, passion, drive, and almost warrior-like. Underneath the feet are the solar and lunar key, the key to the understanding of the sun and the moon. So now why would a pope want to know about the sun and the moon? Because didn't the Catholics only pardon Galileo in 1997?
Well, they wanted to be really, really, really sure, apparently.
It was Pope John Paul that finally agreed the world was round and pardoned Galileo. So it's interesting that the keys to the kingdom, the keys to the sun and the moon are there. And then we notice his 2 little monks, and they are dressed in the flowers that are on the Magician card.
One is wearing lilies and one is wearing roses.
So isn't that interesting?
Oh, could this be life and death? Life
and death, rebirth, and that, again, the last rites the Pope is giving, maybe, When I see this card in a reading, it almost always talks about putting in energy to receive something back, right? In other words, if you don't volunteer your time or give of yourself, you're not going to receive. The other thing is the word Hierophant comes in the same kind of understanding as hermaphrodite. So many times, if this is the first card down as the significator, you may be reading for someone who is gay or bi or trans, and it might be a good thing to then not genderify the reading, because you could disqualify your reading by saying, oh, you're going to meet this lovely woman, when the person really wants to meet a guy. The other thing I'd like to say today is an experiment that could take you about 17 years or so.
Only 17 years.
Is to every day compare two cards, right? So you would take out the Fool, and for the next 77 days, you would compare the Fool to each of the other tarot cards.
Looking for similarities.
Looking for messages and similarities and things that match. So it would take you a little over 16 and a half years to do a comparison of two cards every day. But
not in a rush to do that then.
Find some really stunning things. And it's a great way to see what's hidden behind the scenes. So again, if you, I don't know if I can find the magician while you talk about the card.
I'll talk
if I left anything out.
Well, yeah, hopefully I haven't derailed everybody in the interim. So what she said, basically, all of this, I love this card, in so much as that it's very much about great teachings. And, but with this, you have to understand that the mysteries cannot be taught. Nobody can teach you the mysteries because the mysteries cannot actually be learned either. They can only be experienced. And I think these keys are hugely significant because when we wind up, that lightning flash down the tree, as in brought through, restrained by Saturn, so to speak, as pictured in the Devil card, and we find ourselves incarnate, actually imprisoned in this body, so to speak. Yes, we become the exalted prisoner. And the keys, if you will, allow you to realize or start to give you that understanding, the ability to unlock, not everything is as it appears to be.
Nor is it otherwise.
Nor is it necessarily otherwise. That is actually true, but it's certainly not as it appears to be. And this is very much one of the keys to understanding is simply looking and simply observing. And observing over a period of time. I mean, for example, if you just took a picture of where the shadows lie on your driveway, for argument's sake, if you knew from observing that shadow every single day for a year or perhaps more than a year, so you've got your pattern several years, when somebody showed you that picture, you go, oh yeah, I can tell straight away what time of year that is simply by where the shadows are. And that's that kind of observation where you start to recognize stuff that is hidden entirely in plain sight, but it's been there all the while. It's just you haven't been looking at it. And I think the Hierophant really strives to bring our attention. And the Hierophant, for me particularly, when the Hierophant appears in a reading, these are like the toughest lessons that we're going through. These are the things that our soul desperately yearns to know, desperately wishes to learn. But for some obscure reason, it's almost like we want to resist that. And we stick our heels in and we go, oh no, I'm going to resist the lesson. I'm going to resist the lesson.
You know what the difference is? The High Priestess only teaches those who ask the right questions. The Hierophant is going to dump it on you, whether you want to learn it or not, right? So you, like the magician is be careful what you wish for kind of thing, you just might get it. But when you compare them, the characters are both wearing red and white. The Hierophant has something on her head, a letter above her crown there that you might not have noticed.
Can't see from this.
It's a W. And then when you look at the foot of this card before, you can see the flowers that are on there. So again, this comparison thing is probably a good exercise.
So it's interesting that these yolks over there, which are shown in yellow also, I mean, this could be the joining of form and force, the amalgamation thereof of those two energies, that resolution of opposition from which all life springs. And 3 is extremely strongly indicated in this card when you start to dig in a little bit. And in fact, the Hierophant occupies the middle pillar position. So it's kind of interesting. There's so much going on there. Yes. So yes, when I was wise to say we resist these lessons, but these are the lessons that really do the Hierophant will have you challenge, core tenets of your belief.
Right. You're going to have to
Yeah.
experience this now.
We're going to challenge the things that, especially stuff that you've been conditioned to believe. Conditioned to believe. You've not had any empirical evidence of this. It's something you have been taught. It's behavior you've been taught. Like, for want of a better word, racism. Racism is taught. Nobody's born a racist. Nobody is born a racist. It's what you're exposed to. It's what you're indoctrinated with, if you will, that ethos. And when the Hierophant appears in a reading, this is where suddenly that's thrown at you, and it's like, oh, hang on a minute. You question these things that you've been raised on. Everything, as Lisa says, is totally up for grabs. Even your sexuality, your belief on the way things work. You realize, hang on a minute, maybe I'm not straight. Maybe I don't identify as male or female or whatever. I mean, this is like not shattering stuff, but deep personal realizations.
Yeah, Pam says sounds like Saturn. Yeah, we did say that earlier. We said this is very much base chakra Saturn kind of work.
But yeah, kind of cool. And I love the way the fontanelle points are exposed on the monks here, which is showing
there's a lot of things.
A lot of
think
connection
that,
there.
When we get a little chance, Anton and I are going to teach an occultist sort of esoteric tarot class.
Oh.
In the past, I've taught how to read the tarot, but I think we should teach a class how to unearth the secrets of the tarot. Yeah.
How the tarot reads you.
I know, Pam. It's okay.
I love that. I love this. And I'm trying to work out what these guys are. Having this large deck, you'll notice we carry this one as well. Having that helps. When Pam
Neither of them is shielding a gig.
No, but they might be Lions Rampant coming together. I'm not sure.
Green men looking things.
There could be. I don't know.
Bavarian looking things.
It's kind of cool. It's interesting, but that's the very fact that it's grabbing your attention right now means it's important. Mm-hmm. You understand that when these cards were painted, they were actually painted life size. Mm-hmm. Life size.
Well, that there's the black and white mosaic tile down here. There are 4.
What are you showing me? You have to show them. Listen,
there
we need more cameras
for earthly circles. There's black and white tiling. There's all kinds of things that connect this card to the High Priestess and Justice.
Well, see now, Justice in the Thoth deck or Tehote deck isn't justice, it's adjustment. And the Hierophant will probably be asking you to make adjustments in the way that you perceive things. And very personal stuff as well. But yeah, kind of cool card that.
All right.
That's us, is it?
See you tomorrow.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We want to be less of a well-kept secret. But you have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.